Was Diddy obsessed with Prince William and Prince Harry? Or was he just trying to get influence in another form over there in England? Well, not only that, we have an update in regards to the prosecutors accusing Diddy's defense team of trying to use his money and influence in order to get out of jail. Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your #1 source for pop culture news in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So I know you're probably sick of all of the Diddy updates, but the Diddy updates this week have not been that many because, as you know, Diddy is awaiting to get another bail hearing. He's seeking an appeal in regards to the 2 rejections that he's received in regards to seeking bail. As you know, he's offered up a $50 million bond. He's offered up all of his daughters and his mother's passports. He's given the option of he will hire a whole security detail in order to ensure that he will not leave his home in Miami. So he's trying everything. But before we get to that, a lot of people don't understand Diddy's power and influence. A couple of videos ago, we spoke to you about Diddy's power even within the confines of a jail cell. He still has influence and power on the outside. And this is another reason why prosecutors believe that he needs to remain at the Metropolitan Detention Center until his trial on May 5th, 2025. Well, People magazine says that Diddy was obsessed with the royals. And I've told you, in order for Diddy to get away with what he's being accused of for the last 30 years, he had to have influence, not just in the music and entertainment world. He had to have influence or maybe blackmail on some very important, powerful people, which might explain why he allegedly was so obsessed with having Prince Harry and Prince William attend one of his infamous parties. People magazine says that Sean Diddy Combs was a big fan of Prince William and Prince Harry, but they never accepted an invitation to one of his star-studded parties. Rob Shutter, who also worked as a publicist for the musician between 2002 and 2004, told the BBC News he was told to call William, 42, and Harry, 40, to invite them to Combs' events, quote, more than 10 times. However, the royals never accepted the invitations despite Combs offering to cover their travel, lodging, and even pay for their security. Diddy was obsessed with Prince Harry and Prince William. He thinks of himself as a king, so it makes perfect sense that he would like to have 2 princes in his entourage. They never accepted the invites. They were never a part of his world, he added. And this might be coming out as well because there's a lot of celebrity names that are going around, and I'm sure the royal family wants to distance themselves from any of that. Shutter also said that the rapper, who is currently behind bars at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn after being denied bail 2 times by 2 different judges, even kept, quote, framed pictures of the Prince of Wales and Duke of Sussex in his New York apartment.
Hell no.
This is getting weird. People reached out to Kensington Palace for comment. But like I said to you, based off what we've been hearing in regards to Diddy, I don't think it was just an obsession with Prince Harry and Prince William. And there are a lot of people that enjoy them and probably have pictures of them in their home, just not a billionaire music mogul. But I wouldn't be shocked if what people are accusing Diddy of, I'm not saying that it's fact, was he trying to lure them into one of these parties to get them in a compromising position to now have influence in the UK? Just want to put it out there, not saying that's what it was. Maybe he just had an obsession with them. Maybe he thought they were cute. In other news, as you know, Diddy is trying to get bail for the 3rd time in an appeal. So New York Times reminds us about these efforts, and prosecutors are not having it. They said federal prosecutors opposed Sean Combs' bid for release from jail on Wednesday, asserting that the music mogul should not be allowed to use his wealth to set up a proposed bail release package that would include hiring a private security detail to guard him. Mr. Combs, who is being held in Brooklyn jail ahead of his trial on racketeering and trafficking charges in May, has appealed a court's decision to deny him bail, which was based in part on finding that he posed a danger of witness tampering. His lawyers propose an elaborate system, effectively a private version of house arrest, in which Mr. Combs would be monitored by security staffers at all hours, would have no access to phones or the internet, and could only be visited by an approved list of guests. They suggested a bond set at $50 million. Here's the thing, and this is why I don't think the appellate court is going to even fall for it. If you look at what he's being accused of and what the prosecution has laid out in regards to what he has done and how he has coerced people over the years, including victims. One of those examples, remember Kalena from Diddy Dirty Money? They alleged that he called her an extreme amount of times in one day, like 50-something times in one day, and then even more times in a span of 4 days. That's just one example. And then I just saw a video where Claudia Jordan talked about an incident with Diddy, and she literally confirmed what happened to Kalena.
I heard him say that he would make me disappear. If I thought you did this on purpose, I would have had you hurt. There's been some lying assholes on the Instagram, on the media, social media,
damn,
that have said stuff about me. They try to tie me to things and me as well. But I don't know how many times I'll tell you. I met Diddy one time. I was at the BET Awards in 2008, I think it was, when MySpace was still around. I was at rehearsal. He was at rehearsal, and he comes up to me and says, what parties are you going to tonight? I was like, I don't know. Wouldn't you know what the parties are? And he's like, yeah. So he got my phone number, and I said he would let me know what the popping places were. I was like, cool. That's it. I went back to my house, got changed, came back for the award show, and I presented at the BET Awards when I was on the show Ballers. All right. It was a sports show on BET.
Yeah.
So when I was on stage, he texts me and says, you look so pretty. He's like, come backstage. We're all having drinks. It's a bunch of us. I was like, all right, I'm bringing my best friend, Alta, who introduced me to me. We go backstage. We had some drinks. I had one of them cheap-ass disposable cameras. Okay, I said, ooh, can we get some pictures? We took a picture. Anyone that knows me knows how playful I am. I put my hand on his face like this, and he was behind me like, you know, and I put it on my MySpace, right? I put all the people I met, Patti LaBelle, LL Cool J, the picture with Diddy, Kim Kardashian, all the people. If anyone can get into my old MySpace, you can see all the pictures. He never called me that night to tell me what party he was going to. I didn't hear from him. The next day, I get a gang of text messages and phone calls from the New York number, from his number, saying, baby girl, why are our personal pictures on Media Takeout? I said, what's Media Takeout? I didn't know what Media Takeout was at the time. He was like, call Fred. Gave me his bat line and get this off. I go, get what off? I went and looked. It was like, Diddy leaves Cassie for Deal or No Deal model. I was horrified. A, I don't do that the other girl shit. I'm very adamant against that. B, I don't want to keep attached to Diddy like that. I was cool with Kim Porter. It was not a good look to me, and he just had the twins. So anyways, I started calling, trying to get the shit down. This motherfucker texted me 56 times in one day. And his moods went from, baby girl, why are our pictures too? If I thought you did this on purpose, I would have had you hurt. And it got crazy. So I called him back one time with my publicist friend on the line, and she heard him say that he would make me disappear. So then I had to buck up back with him and said, look, motherfucker, don't talk to me like that. I'm not scared of you. This is before I heard about some of the other right? Hanging people upside down out of buildings. So I was popping up like, man, you ain't about to talk to me like that. And then he goes, what are you wearing? And his tone changed. And I go, what? I never talked to him again. He never called me after that. And I have the phone still. I just have to, I couldn't charge it. The charge port went dead. So I still kept it, right? I have it. So fast forward years later, I'm at Howard's homecoming. An SUV drives by me. And someone says, someone wants to talk to you. And roll down the window. It's Diddy. And he goes, oh, you can't speak? And I was like, I didn't think we were friends after the last time I interacted with you. And that is it, you guys.
But she said this on a whole other separate incident that she had with Diddy. So we have that as an example that I don't even know if the prosecution would even use that as an example, but he has a history, allegedly, of coercion. So they said his lawyers proposed an elaborate system, effectively a private version of house arrest. All right? It said, in their response to Mr. Combs' appeal to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit, the prosecutors pushed back on Mr. Combs' argument for release. The district court rightly rejected Combs' effort to pay his way out of detention, because that's what they feel this is what he's trying to do, what he's used to doing, allegedly. They continued, said, when the record established that no set of conditions could ensure the safety of the community. Because that's their biggest issue. They're not even that concerned that he's a flight risk, because one of his other conditions in being released, he says he's actively trying to sell his private jet. I don't think they're concerned about him leaving. I think they're more concerned about witness tampering. I think that is the prosecution's biggest concern, because even though Diddy is behind bars, and this is why I brought this up earlier, People Magazine in their exclusive said that he still has influence, even behind bars. So Diddy on the outside, can you imagine what he might do? And honestly, I think if they release him, he's gone. The government has accused Mr. Combs of running, quote, a criminal enterprise that wielded the mogul's power in the entertainment industry to commit crimes, including coercing women to engage in sexual activity with male workers and drug-fueled encounters known as freak-offs. Lawyers for Combs, who has pleaded not guilty, has denied the charges, asserting that any sexual activity involved consenting adults. We also reported to you this week that a new lawsuit is confirming that the baby oil and lubricants may have been laced with GHB. However, the prosecution, the Southern District of New York, has not confirmed that. They have confirmed that they confiscated 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube, and that some of these freak-off materials or additions to the freak-offs were the baby oil, the lubricant, and drugs. Prosecutors pushed back, citing that Mr. Combs' contact with witnesses associated with a lawsuit filed shortly before his arrest, Dawn Richard's lawsuit. They asserted that a core part of the indictment is their position that Mr. Combs is guilty of obstruction, bribery, and witness tampering. In the indictment, for example, the government accused Mr. Combs of using recordings of coerced sexual activity as, quote, collateral to help ensure participants' silence. I hope you guys get where I'm going, because sometimes these different stories from different outlets I'm piecing together and putting in one video to, look, I'm laying out my own case. So this is why I say, what was his obsession with Prince Harry and Prince William, not just because he liked them, or was it something more nefarious? In a quote from the prosecutor's statement, they said Combs' long-standing and sophisticated methods, listen to this, Combs' long-standing and sophisticated methods of obstructing justice and silencing witnesses more than established his dangerousness. The fact the prosecution is saying that it's long-standing, meaning that this has been going on for years and he's gotten away with it, and sophisticated, they know a lot that we don't know. What you've been hearing is a lot of conspiracy theories. It's probably far more nefarious than we even realize. Lawyers for Mr. Combs have sought to poke holes in the government's contention that Mr. Combs has tried to obstruct justice in the case. For example, they argue that while their client may have had contact with 2 grand jury witnesses, the government, they said, has not produced any evidence that these encounters included threats or intimidation. Oral arguments in the appeal are scheduled for November 4th, Diddy's birthday. But on Thursday, Mr. Combs' lawyers asked the appellate court to postpone the proceedings because they intend to present a new release application to the lower court based on, quote, certain relevant new information. The new information was not specified in the filing. This week, the defense also asked the court to order the government to identify the alleged victims. It cited in the indictment, writing that the lawyers have been forced to play, quote, a guessing game about particulars of the prosecution's case, one that they said has been complicated by a cascade of civil lawsuits from anonymous plaintiffs. The defense said that it anticipates that the discovery in the case will include videos of consensual sexual activity involving Mr. Combs, making it difficult to ascertain which of his prior sexual partners now claims years later that they felt coerced. So as you know, there are multiple civil lawsuits that Diddy is facing this week alone. I believe there was like 7. And some of those include people that allege that these things happened when they were just minors. All of these lawsuits, from these civil lawsuits, have been slammed by Diddy's legal team as just people clout chasing and trying to get a major payday. They also did deny any of the allegations that Diddy is being accused of. Guys, as always, I want to know your reaction to Diddy's obsession with Prince Harry and Prince William. And the prosecution is saying that he cannot buy his way out of jail, not this time. Let's continue this conversation there. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.
You bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a fire, I'll add the fuel. Follow my lead.